Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tearing down a massive disruption that's happening right now in the real estate industry, specifically for all of us here in the Chicagoland market. We're skipping the preamble today because the numbers we're about to look at are absolutely game-changing. So, if you want to know how the smartest agents are winning more offers, saving literally thousands of dollars, and completely rethinking their marketing budgets for 2026, well, you're in exactly the right place. Okay, let's just dive right into this. Just look at the absolute financial cliff between traditional and modern staging methods. Based on 2025 and 2026 data, physical staging, that costs an average of $3,500 to $4,400 per property. And guys, that's not even counting the $500 to $1,500 in monthly furniture rental fees. Now, on the flip side, virtual staging costs between $15 and $129 per image, depending on the quality tier. I mean, we are talking about a completely different universe of expenses for the exact same goal.
So, what does that massive gap actually mean for your bottom line? It means choosing the digital route represents up to a 97% cost reduction. 97%! To put that into perspective, if you're an agent staging, say, 10 to 20 listings a year, physical staging would run you anywhere from $25,000 to $200,000 annually. Virtual staging, $50 to $1,500 for the entire year. This data alone should completely redefine how you structure a marketing budget in 2026.
Act 1. The empty room problem.
Before we get into the heavy data, we gotta acknowledge a universal pain point, right? Unstaged, empty properties just kill deals. Why? Well, because rooms feel cold. They feel small. Buyers really struggle to evaluate the scale of a room without furniture. They honestly just can't picture themselves living in a space that has nothing in it. In fact, 2025 data shows us that 81% of buyers say staging helps them visualize a property as their future home. But paying thousands of dollars in upfront fees for physical staging is a massive, massive gamble for both the seller and the agent. Let's look at the practical reality of Chicagoland real estate math for a second. If you've got a $300,000 listing out in the Chicago suburbs, traditional staging often simply doesn't make financial sense. The commission just doesn't always support a $3,000 to $4,000 staging bill before the property has even sold. It's a huge roadblock. But virtual staging solves that problem completely. It provides photorealistic furniture and decor that buyers honestly cannot reliably tell apart from physical staging.
Act 2. The data avalanche.
Now, I promised to prove the return on investment here with undeniable, hard numbers. Well, here they come. What's really interesting about this slide is the sheer scale of the engagement jump. It's staggering. Virtually staged listings generate a 90% increase in click-through rates compared to unstaged listings. And it doesn't stop there. These listings also generate a 72% increase in online traffic and a 44% uptick in qualified inquiries. Think about that for a second. That is almost double the clicks, just by digitally adding the right sofa, lighting, and decor.
And what happens when you get more clicks and inquiries? The home sells faster, of course. Staged homes spend about 29 to 31 days on the market, while unstaged homes sit there for an average of 52 days. That means staged homes sell 73% faster. And remember, every 15 days shaved off market time saves sellers between $1,050 and $1,950 in carrying costs. In this game, speed is literally money in the bank.
When we compare the financial power of these two approaches, the results are just brilliant. Physical staging works exceptionally well, yielding an average 109% sale-to-list ratio and an ROI of 102 to 909%. But look at the virtual row. Virtually staged homes still achieve an incredible 98.5 to 99% of the asking price. And because the upfront cost is so drastically lower, the estimated ROI for virtual staging explodes to between 500 and over 1,000%. Agents are even winning 30% more listing appointments when they utilize AI virtual staging tools right in their presentations.
Act 3. The playbook.
So it's one thing to have all this data, right? But it's a whole other ballgame to know exactly how to use it. The crucial point here is knowing which tool fits which job. You want to choose virtual staging when the property is vacant, when it's under $500,000, when it's maybe a stale listing that needs a fresh reset, or when you have a super tight 24 to 48-hour timeline. On the flip side, choose physical staging when you have a luxury listing above $1 million, where buyers expect a premium in-person experience, or for occupied open houses and new construction model homes where buyers are going to tour repeatedly. It's all about matching the investment to the buyer's expectation.
This builds into what we like to call the hybrid approach,
The absolute strongest, most effective listing marketing in 2026 uses both. Step 1. You use digital, virtual staging for the online hook to maximize those click-through rates, saves, and inquiries on Zillow and Redfin. Then, Step 2. You use physical staging in just the key rooms to create that emotional in-person close during the open house. You win online and you win in person. Best of both worlds.
The MLS disclosure rule.
Okay, let's briefly address the vital fine print that builds trust with buyers. If you're altering photos, it must be disclosed. It's just how it is. MRED, the MLS system covering Chicagoland, requires that digitally altered listing photos be clearly labeled. The standard accepted practice is simply putting a note in the listing description stating that select photos have been virtually staged. And I really want to reassure you here, this absolutely does not negatively impact buyer interest. Buyers actually appreciate the transparency, and they still get all the benefit of visualizing the home's potential.
Meet Ogi Optics.
All right, so we've seen the data, we've seen the playbook, now let's pivot to the clear path forward. Ogi Optics is your local, creative partner to get these high-converting, photorealistic images. Founded by Josh Ojiba, this Chicagoland-based BB-accredited real estate and small business media company offers basically everything you need. From virtual staging to cinematic video, drone footage, professional listing photography, and even podcast production. They're the team that can actually deliver this 97% cost reduction without sacrificing an ounce of quality. You definitely want to check them out at ogioptics.com or on Instagram at ogioptics.
Which brings us to our final question. Are you ready to stop paying thousands of dollars for empty space and start winning more offers today? When only 16 to 18% of agents currently consider virtual staging a highly important tool, the competitive advantage is sitting right there, just waiting for you to take it. Rethink your budget, embrace the data, and visit ogioptics.com to transform your empty listings into irresistible homes. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy staging!